Hello, good evening, welcome to tonight's edition of GCBC from the UK Blood Bowl League. Joining me this week in a change from normal is my T-boy, Schaefer. Hello, Co-Commissioner Schaefer.
Milk or 2 sugars, I can never remember which.
That's it, milk, no sugar, it is for me. Welcome to the viewers, good evening the Waitrix, good evening Farron. Covering tonight, and you're in for a treat, I must say so. We are covering a shock and defeat to Anton Lunau in the FA Cup. If you haven't seen it, we're covering the full highlights of the FA Cup final from yesterday, which and kudos to Cornight, he did manage to turn over nearly 1,200 inducements, which is just ridiculous. Such a difference in TV. So we're covering that. That's going to take about an hour or so. Then we're going to look at some changes to the FA Cup format. Oh, good evening, Cornight. Congratulations.
Everyone who should appear.
Indeed. Following that, we're going to look at some changes that we're making to the FA Cup for next season. Nothing huge. I don't want to change the format particularly. It seems to be working well. There are entrants in there, so we've got to 64 entrants, which is which is nearly half the league for the last 2 seasons before it gets far too unwieldy. And can you imagine 128 coaches for the first round draw? Jesus
I
Christ.
can imagine it, but I just don't really want to.
Good evening, Mr. John. Any idea of when the sneak peeks happen? What, the sneak peeks of next season's league tables, which, if I do say so myself, I'm quite pleased that I've already done them. I'm just going to say, if you're in Middenheim East next season, you're not in for a treat. It was absolutely shocking. But never mind, we've got all the racial balancing as well. We can actually have a look at the racial balances from everybody that's declared, that's actually said they're playing in the UKBBL for next season as well. So it's not going to be a dreadfully long show, because obviously it's the off season. The only games that there are the 2 playoff matches, which haven't actually been sorted out yet. We're waiting for those teams to come in. I can tell you that 3 of the 4 teams in the playoffs this season didn't have a spa day. So Goats just want to have fun, didn't opt for the spa day. Black Star Crusade didn't opt for the spa day. The Maryland Marvel didn't. The only ones that did were Scold's team, whose name escapes me at the moment. It's Frank's Fruct. Yes, however you say it.
I'm never quite sure how to pronounce that.
No, and that's one of the things that Robbo likes about his team name, the fact that nobody else can say the damn thing. So thank you for that. But Franz Frucht are the only team to have taken a spa day in this off season. So there you go. Why would you turn down a spa day? The reason that they've turned the spa day down is because they don't want to lose the fan factor, etc., etc. Some people choose not to. It's the people that definitely take it are the people that need to recover players. So it's not always taken.
This is it. I mean, I think 3 of the 4 teams didn't even have any
exactly
next games, so no value, no benefit.
So all the teams are going into that. But let's have a look at Anton Lunau. So the double can't happen this season because Anton knocked out Robbo in the semi-finals, and Anton did lose the FA Cup final. Quite how he did that, we're going to actually have a look now. So I'm going to bring up on the screen now Anton's team for everybody to have a look at. Okay, this is a 24-50. This team was second in Premiership East last season, and this is the team that Andy Davo has to play. Woohoo! Just look at that Minotaur, Schaefer. It's actually got an ellipsis because there's so many skills on it.
Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it?
It's just have a look at
I
him,
wouldn't even know where to start with that.
He's got thick skull, mighty blow, horns, frenzy, loner, wild animal, as per all Minotaurs, and then block, claw, dodge, tackle, and testicles. I'm not sure they are.
Did you genuinely just say what I think you just said?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
So that Prickturg. Got to be careful how you say that. Prickturg, 82 star player point Minotaur. If you were going to build a Minotaur, would you do anything different? Anyone else? Yeah, Spa Day doesn't give cash and SPP because it's an auto loss. The Spa Day you lose to a dummy team. Okay, Al Bundy, now M2. It's a automatic loss. You lose your spa day. So everybody goes for a nice relaxing, and this is the fluff behind it. All the players go off to a spa day. They get a sneaky photograph by a photo opportunity journalist, relaxing by the pool, having a gentle spa, sharing a bath with each other. Maybe break tackle over tentacles. I like tentacles on a Minotaur. It depends what's in your division, I suppose. But yeah, gentle massages, taking their Chaos helmets off, so on and so forth. Get snapped. The fans don't like what they're seeing, so how can they be serious athletes? They're just relaxing all the time. Fan factor drops, and you get an auto loss against you. So there you go. It's like an admin C. Yeah, exactly that. It's an admin concede, not an admin loss. Correct. It's just you play the game, you get your players back. Pro instead of dodge, re-rolling for powers. Yeah, it's true that there's different ways you can build it. Cool. Who asked you, like, hey? So let's have a look at the rest of this team.
Everyone's an expert.
I know, right? I know. So 4 block guard Chaos Warriors. One of those Chaos Warriors has lost a point of armor value. He does have Mighty Blow though. Then you've got the core of the team. I think this is where this team has the big advantage over Davo's team. I think Anton's Beastmen are better than Davo's. A couple more killers, more ball manoeuvring. I think this team has the same amount of guard as Davo as well. Minotaur, this Minotaur versus Davo's Minotaur, there's an awful lot more bloat in this Minotaur, but Davo feels that if he can get his tackle piling on Mighty Blow Beastman onto this Minotaur with the claw, he's going to nail it, get it off the pitch, and it's not going to be a problem. It's a lot of team value. A lot of team value. So that's Anton's team. So that's 2450. Let's have a look at them, because they are potential UKBBL champions. There they are. 2410 is that team. So let's have a look at Core Knights, Merry Elves. Just going to bring them up. Robin Wood and the Merry Elves. Now, unbelievable. If we look at this roster, it looks pretty nice there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Wood Elves. That's fairly decent. If we go into it, he's actually, for the FA Cup final, missing his treeman and missing a lineman. So he's only got 8 fit players. So he's playing with a TV of 1250 against Anton's 2410.
It just gets more and more ridiculous.
It's just ridiculous, Core Knight. You know, I even looked at this. I thought, we must have some superstars in this team. The War Dancers, strip ball, tackle, wrestle. Okay, wrestle, blodge. That's interesting. Maid Marion is an interesting piece. Yeah. Block and wrestle. That's pure. Bring the ball, get the ball free. I mean, that catcher's knight. Nasir is a nice looking player. What's that? Wrestle. Is that sure hands? Is it? That is sure hands, isn't it? Sure hands, sure feet. Sorry?
Is he voiced by Morgan Freeman?
Possibly.
The double by itself.
I know. Sure feet, sidestep, diving tackle. That's an odd player, but there you go. Missing the tree was a good thing against the killer chaos. Yeah, I can see that. A mighty blow block lineman, but where do you start playing against Anton's team with this lot? That's what Core Knight did on yesterday. Let's find out how it went. So I'm just going to come into the history. There we go. So you ready to press play then, Shafe? I'm going to give you a countdown.
1 second, and I am there. Right, okay, good to go.
3, 2, 1, play. And watch replay. 3, 2, 1, watch replay. So here we go. Here we go. I did have a plus strength, plus move catcher, lots of loners. Let's find out. So what inducements did you take, Core Knight? I have to ask. As we've got you here, what went through your head? This is what we're watching right now, Al Bundy. We're watching Core Knight, Tier 4, I think you were last season, weren't you, Core Knight?
Conference last season, yeah.
Anton had a wizard, a babe, and a bribe. So Anton not only had all that team value advantage, he also put in extra money. So there's Jordell Fresh Breeze. I don't know if you saw him. There he is. There's Jordell. So that's some of the inducements. And there's Eldrill. So Jordell and Eldrill were on display. And Core Knight put in extra money as well. So we hit the Hypno Gaze. Here's the goats. Watching the highlights. Two-headed beastman there. Claw and there's Prick. Is that his name? That's what I'm going to call him now. Prick the Minotaur. Absolutely. This is why we like the FA Cup. The underdog. This is Wimbledon versus Liverpool, this game. So it was a Master Chef kicked in there. That was 2 rerolls taken away from Anton, but it's left Anton with only 1 reroll for the half. He has got a Bribe, an Apothecary and a Wizard. There's a Wizard on display for the Wood Elves. No extra Apoths, but the Master Chef was used. Prickberg, something like that. Jordell, Eldrill, Wizard Babe, Loner Catcher just for a body, and a Chef. Okay. And there they are. I'm dying to watch to see how this happened. I mean, Schaefer, in this kind of TV difference, what would you be thinking? I mean, you're playing elves at the moment.
I'd be thinking, oh, I'm definitely on holiday, or I'm off sick, or something like that. Probably first and foremost.
That's brave.
But if I wasn't allowed to do that, I'd be thinking, just avoid like the plague, really, I suppose.
Keep dodging away and hope for the best.
Pretty much.
I'm going to say right now, I'm pointing out to the viewers, obviously Schaefer is a former UKBBL Grand Champion in the season that didn't matter. But
harsh.
Come on, I don't know what you're expecting. Oh, if any of you are wondering, I like the fact that nobody tonight has asked, where is Davo? Davo's painting. Oh, and there we go. The opening block of the game was a badly hurt lineman. So Core Knight is going ever so well. Second block of the game, broken armour. That's true. There is only 2 tackle pieces and an awful lot of wasted claws. Andy Davo, who's here? Well, that's a very good point. Davo of Davo TV. Apparently, have you heard what he's doing, Shafe?
He's painting for his missus, is he?
Yeah, but on his stream, he's now referring to people that follow him as Davotees.
No.
He is.
You're not having that.
That's exactly what he's doing. It's a shocker.
Shall we have a quick competition as to what alternative names we should have?
Oh yeah, there we go. Entrance on a postcard. If you follow Andy Davo, something better than Davotees. We'll leave it for you to think about. Wild Animals on Core Knight's side. There's the Minotaur. Obviously, we won't have thinking time here, so it's going to be fairly swift. That's the end of turn 1. Anton's got the ball nice and safe. He's removed a piece, 2 stuns. That's a fairly decent first turn for the Chaos. Here comes Eldrill. Going in hard. There's the Hypno Gaze. So there we go. Are we going to see
this
the
is an
first...
education for me, because obviously I'm still a rookie elf coach, so I'm just watching in awe at the moment.
Which division did you play in last season, Core Knight? Remind me. Oh, and there's another armour break. Nothing major there.
And another.
Look at that. First hit on the ball carrier pops the ball free. And that's quite friendly as well, look at that. Ball on the floor. Jordell jumping through. Agility 5 kicks in. There we go. Well, what a first turn for the Wood Elves that was.
It's just aggressive all round, isn't it?
I suppose that's what you got to do. Eldrill takes the punch with the dodge skill. Eldril's a great inducement for elves. He really is excellent. Jordell does not go down even with the tackle, and the sidestep kicks in. I'd think I'd have probably re-rolled that there, but I can see why he didn't. Oh, because the Minotaur can blitz. 3 dice, down goes Jordell.
Off with his head.
Clever play. Clever play. I think I'd be tempted to try and pick the ball up this turn, if I'm honest. Where's that two-headed piece?
You probably have to, wouldn't you?
Where is he? Oh, we got stunned, look. The ball carrier was stunned. Oh, he did as well. He picked it up. And then went for the foul on Jordell. Brutal.
Cheeky.
And the send-off. Oh! There's the bribe. Cornight's telling us there was a lot of thinking to do at the end of this turn. Yeah, this is not easy. So you got guard? There's no guard on this piece though. I think I will hypnogaze this guy and blitz with this guy. That works as well. We'll use the loner to get an assist there. Okay, so this gets the 2 dice option. Here comes the other war dancer.
And there we go.
Indeed. Another star. What was they both down? Oh, and the foul on the sure hands. Ball has bounced nicely clear there, so that was a friendly bounce. That could have gone anywhere. Now the elves are feeling happy. This is actually really hard for the Chaos now. I think the Chaos team are calling that Wood Elf lunch right now. Okay, so and that's another stunned war dancer. So Schaefer, I see that you're sticking next season.
Yes, I am, and I'm delighted to be doing so.
Are you? Oh, there's another wild animal on the blitz as well. It's brutal. How did your season go for Torment, the Dark Elf team?
Mixed, to be honest. The results were not great until probably the last couple of games, but managed to avoid getting too many injuries and managed to get a fair few level ups. So it's one of those where it was always going to be a development season. There's certainly a learning curve for me anyway.
Was it the first season you played elves?
Ever. Yeah.
Okay. Did you enjoy them?
So I was...
Hypnogaze failure there from Eldril, followed by a skull.
But yeah, so I think overall I was sort of quite happy with it. It's one of those where I sort of grow into it as the season goes on, so I'm quite looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, I have to say I do agree. I think first seasons with elves are tricky. Pick the ball up. Off he goes, or we can score here. Does he go for? Does he run it in? There's the first one. There's the second one, and there's the turnover.
Very nice.
When will the divisions get announced for next season? Well, you're in the right place, Noam2. The divisions, we're going to have a little sneak preview. They haven't been ratified by the big guys yet. They'll be posted up for the big guys, hopefully this evening, when my 2 co-commissioners have kind of said, yes, we're happy for you to do that.
Just really happy for you to do that.
And then the big guys will give them the big guys will all give them once over, and then we will release them to the league. But we will have a sneak preview tonight of what our divisions look like. There was an awful lot of re-rolls, which meant an awful lot of players got sucked up, so there'll be some unexpected promotions for people.
Indeed, I finished, I think it was 4th bottom and ended up going up as it stands, which seemed crazy. But that's just the nature of Legendary Edition, I guess.
Yeah, it's just the perfect season. If you wanted to get promoted, this is the season that it will have happened for everyone, it would seem, apart from me. And another injury. That was a lost. That was a fractured skull. Not that it matters in the FA Cup. Another piling on piece. This could have plateaued really, really quickly, actually, Core Knight, if he'd lost a lot of players.
I think I made the right decision in starting the Dark Elves, because I don't think I'd be able to cope with elves and sort of dealing with the sort of player removals like Core Knight is doing here. I just wouldn't know where to start.
Yes, I mean, this is where you're kind of hoping that you remove enough players. So getting some KOs here. Did you have babes, Core Knight? What's your definition of losing lots of players? I don't know. We've just seen 1, 2, 3, 4 players. I mean, in that last term, we've seen 3 removed. So, as a percentage, that's pretty high. 1 babe, okay. Takes the.
It's actually a shorter list to say what didn't Core Knight take as inducements, isn't it?
Yes. I think Wood Elves. I don't know. I suppose against Claw, Dark Elves get removed just as much as Wood Elves. Yes, in answer to the question, who asked the question was, is there any division that will be worse than Barren Hills West this season? Yes. Waitrix, I can categorically state that there was a division worse than Barren Hills West at the first draft. I'm not gonna hide this from the community. One of the divisions had to be racially balanced because in the first draft, and I will just read out the races that were in that division. I just need to remember.
I'm still grumpy, by the way, at having 4 Chaos Dwarves in my rookie season with elves. Thanks for that.
It's just the way the wafer crumbles. Okay, so one of the divisions, before we racially balanced it this season, had the following races. There was a Norse team. There was an Orc team. There was an Orc team. There was a Chaos team. There was another Chaos team. There was a Nurgle team. There was a Chaos team. There was an Orc team. There was an Orc team. There was a Skaven team. There was an Orc team. And there was a Chaos team. One of the divisions at the first draft, just because of the way that teams got pulled up and because of the way that teams got relegated, had 4 Chaos, 5 Orcs, a Nurgle, 1 Skaven who was probably laughing his socks off at that team group, and the poor old Norse who are just going to get battered for the whole season.
That is possibly the worst division I've ever heard.
It's not even so much about racial balancing. I just didn't want to bore 11 or 12 coaches for the season by, what am I playing this week? Oh, I'm playing Orcs. Why balance on race? Because that's what we do here, Pidpad. That's exactly what we do.
That is how we roll.
Move the Norse and put in some proper bash instead. Well, you'll find out soon because we're going to actually... Oh, we've got an injured beastman. So motoring along, turn 5. Finally, the Wood Elves actually get a player off the pitch.
Arguably though, Gav, what you could have done was left them all there so they all kill each other.
Could have done. But I wanted to move some west side, Andy. Aren't you supposed to be painting?
Yeah, I got bored of painting. Absolutely fucking fed up of it.
We're covering the FA Cup final.
Oh, right, okay.
This is the highlights of the FA Cup final, yeah. Well, it means that the double is still something that you could hope to achieve one day, because nobody's won it this season, because Core Knight won it from whichever division he was in last season.
You should probably watch this, Andy. I imagine this will be the first time you watch Anton lose for a little while.
Core Knight was in Tier 2, so this is the Tier 2 team winning the FA Cup. But yeah, this is how you beat Anton, Andy. Something that you've not managed this season.
I've managed. I've beat Anton
this season.
Before.
This season.
Oh, this season. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. In a different division.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out this week, won't we? We missed you, Andy Davo. No, we didn't.
Oh, bless.
Don't feed the ego.
Is that Andy's mum? Have they hacked someone's account?
Wow. I just wanted to just drop in and hijack the stream for a minute, if that's all right.
Yeah, sure. Go on. You go and announce your surprise exciting thing that's happening on Davo TV
Well,
with your Davo T's?
yeah, the devotees. No, the thing that I wanted to just confirm and let everyone know about is that there will be a free giveaway of a couple of versions of Blood Bowl Legendary Edition. The date has now been set. That's going to be this Sunday, and we've got Thursday. We've got the playoff semi-final against Anton. That'll be at 7 o'clock UK time, and then on Sunday we've got the giveaway, and we've got the season 7 playoff semi-final where I'll be playing for €200.
What time is the UKBBL? What day's that?
Thursday at 7.
Thursday at 7. Oh, is that a death? It was a dead Chaos Warrior there, but good news is he came back to life for the semi-final against Andy. Thursday at 7:30, did you say?
No, Thursday at 7.
7. Thursday at 7, and then you're playing for
Money.
Playing for money, yeah. So I made it through season 7 of the
Champion Open League. Yeah.
Champion ladder.
Yeah.
We've had the last 16. Then we had the last 8, and I've won both of those. Both of those are on YouTube. And now we're playing the semi-final, where I've already guaranteed to have won €100, and we're playing for another 200 minimum, I think, possibly another €400.
Congratulations, Andy. Well played. Now you're getting paid for Blood Bowl. That means you're not allowed to compete in any tabletop events that the UKBBL affiliated. So I'm afraid you're disqualified.
Oh right, okay.
No, that was Charlie Banks' idea. I'm not going to stick with that. Good to know that Southern Slayer is also... He's driving all the way up from Devon to join us at the Nottingham tabletop. But more than that, Southern Slayer has asked if he wouldn't mind if he could sort out, Keith Carr, I hope you're listening, a 4th team for the UKBBL at the Team Championship in York. So Southern Slayer's coordinating that. I believe he has got a 4th man. So that's all very exciting as well. So that's 4 teams going along from the UKBBL to the Team Championship. 16 brave and true souls going along to represent UKBBL. You're captain of one of those teams as well, aren't you, Andy?
I am, yeah. I just want to point out, by the way, Anton's just done something very clever there.
What, fallen over?
No, his chain push blocking into the Minotaur to then knock over one of the cage corners was genius.
It was very good.
That was very well played.
He's going for the... There we go. Hand off to the War Dancer instead.
Yep.
And off he goes. Oh dear.
Off the little scamp goes. Is Cornite on the east or the west? Will I ever get to play him?
Cornite, he played in last season at Altdorf East.
Oh right, nobody cares east. Oh okay, that's a shame. It would have been nice to play him at some point.
Well, since Andy, since the UKBBL moved across to Blood Bowl 2, how many times has the West won it?
I don't know, I've not been in the top division, so I don't know.
So how many times is that then, Andy? Has the West
I
won?
don't know.
So
I don't know. We're going to correct that.
It's 0. It's 0.
Is it 0? Right.
It's 0. Yeah. West has never won the UKBBL since we moved across.
Okay.
Who,
being then that I am the last Bren West champion.
you are the last person to win the UKBBL from the West, Andy. Schaefer. In the season when nobody cared.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let it go, Gav. Let it go.
Oh, I think Andy agrees.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. But Schaefer, ask Gav how many times he's won the UKBBL ever, just as in a grand total. Sort of let him use all of his fingers and toes. How many times?
Just the once.
Gav's never won it.
Ooh.
The correct answer is 0, Schaefer.
Yeah, that is true, but there's a bit in the UK.
Isn't it?
Well, hang on. There is a bit. There is a bit in the Blood Bowl handbook where it talks about leads and running a league, and the commissioner should never rule in his favour and should never kind of promote the league as something for him to win himself. So I'm just living the dream that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's this for you, Schaefer. Cyrus has got closest to winning the UKBBL than Gav has.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Did Cyrus get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs? I think he did, and I think I did that as well. I think we've got exactly the same. Lost in the semis.
I bet you didn't flip the table though.
No, I didn't, and I got beaten by Andy. And Andy's a professional Blood Bowl player, so
Well, we can say that now, can't we?
he pays for it. So, yeah. Right, so 2-0. This is hard. I mean, if you're 2-0 down here, Andy, how do you win this?
You don't, because he lost.
We know he lost. It's
Hashtag
not.
spoiler alert.
Schaefer, I hope you're reading the chat. Robbo wants to take his spa day.
That's very true, Jelliel. Well done for pointing that out.
That's already been
Good
done.
evening, Jelliel. Jelliel's just pointed out that the season before last, the final was between two teams from the East. So that was a double one for the East last 2 seasons ago. And last season, the final was contested between Uberwald United. Who did they play? Was it a Necro mirror match in the final last season? In which case it was
the playoff final. Yeah, wasn't it?
Frankie meets the Wolfman.
It could have been because they both.
Yeah, it was Jelliel,
didn't they?
It was Jelliel. Jelliel's coming back next season, though. Good news,
very
everyone.
good.
Jelliel's back in the stream. Jelliel is back in Premiership East next season as well. It was you,
Very
Jelliel. So yes, last season's playoff final was a Necro mirror match. Both teams from Premiership East. The season before, obviously, as we've discussed, Uberwald United were in the final, and I cannot for the life of me remember who they beat in that final. Was it the Forest Elves? I can't remember.
That is a brutal pitch invasion.
I suppose that's one way to score. So I think 3 of the last 4 teams to get to the UKBBL final have been from the East. And we talked about Andy playing Anton in the semis this Thursday, but we talked about it at length last week, and the true and real hope is that Anton knocks Andy out of the league in the same way he knocked him out of the cup, because he's already known as Anton, the Davo Slayer, or Slayer of Davo, I think it is, isn't it?
Slayer of Davo, yeah.
General question: if you re-roll a team, can I go back to the team I had before in a later season? No. Once you end your franchise, the franchise is dead. You can sit out for a season and come back to the same franchise if there is space, so it is risky. Fortunately for Jelliel, there were enough re-rollers in Premiership East this season, so he was allowed back in. But you cannot quit your franchise, move on to another franchise. And Maid Marian has just been sent off. Oh, no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. That was one of the Chaos players getting sent off. You can't then rekindle the franchise. You as the coach have moved on to a new franchise. So you can bring them back for side competitions, but nothing, or for the old guard league if everyone gets set up. But yeah, once they're gone, they are gone.
We should probably mention that. Is there appetite for something like the Cripple Cup?
If you can find someone to run it, I've said this several times, if people want to start looking into running some side competition, something like the Cripple Cup or the Burt Memorial Trophy, that one was always fun as well.
Yeah.
All it needs is someone to run them, especially as Amazons are back. So the Burt Memorial Trophy can come back, although some people were a bit iffy about Amazons being allowed to play in that. Sexist, if you ask me. Sexist and racist. Not long to the live beta, is it? I think it's the 25th of August. Is Andy gone now?
No, I'm still here. I'm just thinking about stuff.
That was legitimately terrifying.
Have you got plans for the beta, Andy, with your stream?
No, not really.
You're just going to play lots of Blood Bowl?
Yeah.
Or are you only interested in playing for money now?
No, I'll play the normal game as well. My season 8 objective is to finish top of the ladder. We were top and currently second, annoying.
Keith Carr, Cripple Cup was the best thing he's ever played. Cripple Cup was a popular competition. I have to admit, I didn't enjoy it that much, but in the Cripple Cup I did play Goblins. Goblins in the Cripple Cup was bad.
Yeah, Underworld was always a bit of a riot. Ogres are the best.
Although I have to say, the rule for stunty teams in the Cripple Cup getting allowed to rebuy players halfway through the season, a rule that I never got to play, that actually got introduced the season after I moaned about it. So maybe I should come back. Oh, the Waitrix played in Lupac's Cripple Cup. Yeah, Lupac's Cripple Cup was stolen from the UKBBL. Well, it wasn't stolen, but the concept for the cup Lupac got from the UKBBL. Yeah, we should have sold the rights to it. Should have sold the rights to it.
Who was it who originally came up with it? Is it a pop thing?
Wobbert, I think it was. It sounds like a Wobberty thing.
Yes.
Right, so turn 11. It's all looking cushy. 2-0 up. The Cows do have the ball. Were you worried at this point, Cornight, that you were starting to lose too many players? I have to ask. Now, I've said this on the stream a few times over the last few weeks, and I'm going to point it out because we're getting so close to Legendary Edition coming out. UKBBL, there are 3 teams. There's another Wood Elfcon. There are 3 teams that haven't ever been represented in the Premiership in the UKBBL. Oh no, 4. Correction on that, 4, because Kislev are coming along. Those 4 are Goblins, Underworld, Kislev. Or is it just 3? I think it's just 3. Underworld.
Ogres?
No, Ogres have been there. Doug Lowe took Ogres to the Premiership.
I've led.
Vampires have definitely been there. Twice. Evil School and Lorenzo took Vampires there. Yeah, I think it's Underworld, Goblins and Kislev, and Kislev haven't had a chance. So there we go. Take one of those 3 teams. Korn definitely got there twice. One guy who played from America, he quit early in the season, and I think Graham.
Oh yeah, of course.
Conflict Diamond, also former commissioner of the UKBBL and former UKBBL champion. Although that was so long ago.
When?
Believe it or not, that was season 3.
Yeah.
Season 3.
To be fair, Gav, can you actually say that as a season? Because I think the season was only 2 weeks long, wasn't it? Because there were only 4 people playing.
And you give me shit for my one, honestly.
We also at least people cared in that season 3. Come on, Davo.
Yeah.
Gav, you were in the WhatsApp chat with me, Andy, and you. You know Andy cared about that one.
No, I didn't. Couldn't give less of a shit, Schaefer.
Oh, there were words at the time.
Words for what?
They're like, don't care, bothered, whatever. I think they were the words I used.
I don't know what you're talking about, Schaefer, either. I mean, it's a blot on the record. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just actually have a look. Teams.
Amazon's been in them.
Amazons have, yeah, a couple of times. Yeah. You know what the Chaos should have done here, Andy, don't you? I'm going to say
What's that?
Passing play.
Oh, you'd have been proud of me, by the way, Gav.
Would I?
I won the last 8 with a passing chaos play.
Oh, I do. I am a little bit impressed by that.
Agility 4 Beastman pinned against the sideline, 1 square inside my own half, and a Beastman squares out. Beastman blitzes his way free. Goes and stands in the end zone. Other Beastman is agility 4, dodges past his marker, dodges out again, throws the ball along on a catches in the end zone. Game over, game 1. Thanks.
I'm a little bit proud of that, Andy. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit proud of that.
I'm a little bit disgusted, but that's just me.
I mean, you're asking a lot if you're going to score twice from this stage. I mean, to be fair to him, he has turned the Elves over, which is a problem because he got turned over twice in that first half. So he was always up against it. So. He had a game plan, stuck to it, and it kind of worked. Except he was 2-0 down by the time it started working. Very well played, Cornite. Very, very well played. Pidpad, that would sound more spectacular if you weren't a very good Underworld player. I expect you to be the guy to take Underworld to the Premiership. There we go. Is he going for the score this turn? No, he failed the handoff. Oh, a shame. So there you go, Andy. That's how you beat Anton. You turn him over twice in the first half.
Okay.
Make those notes.
Oh, he failed to pick up as well. And it was caught by the loner catcher. I never got Underworld to OCC Championship. Was somewhat close once though. That means you were in Division A though. Cornite thinks if he'd scored, he would have won that. Okay. What are you hoping to see in the other semi-final, Andy, between Robbo and Ceremel? Do you mind who wins that? Or do you fancy chances against either of them? Are you sticking to the whoever wins yours and Anton's game becomes a champion?
I genuinely hadn't really considered it very much because I was really sort of thinking I'd win. Sorry.
Okay.
I mean, I might be wrong. I might not be wrong. I shouldn't.
No, you've lost before.
Has Ceremel been to the final before?
Can't remember. I cannot remember. You'll have to check, Shafe.
I have statisticians to do that for me. It would be nice to see an Elvish team win it, that's for sure. Certainly in these early days.
Say that again?
So it would certainly be nice to have an Elf team win it overall. Can't see many opportunities. Certainly those teams progress the way they are.
Well, I don't know. I think the thing about Elf teams is you can skill them up quite nicely by the time they get to the Premiership, but it's kind of you have to do it quickly. You don't want to be hanging around in the Premiership too long because eventually attrition will take over on the Elves.
True.
Although Andy kept them up there a jolly long time, didn't you, Andy? How many seasons did you before it all went wrong with Davo's Dark Delights? Is Andy gone? So he scored on turn 15, unfortunately. So Yeah, OCC is a different way of doing the ladder and our sister league. A lot of friends from the OCC, including good old Pidpad. That was it. Well, very well played, Cornite. The match was won in the first half, and then it was a case of hanging on. But let's be fair, there are 8 brave elves left at the end, including Jordell. And another one. In fact, all 3 war dancers still there at the end. It's a masterclass there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, I shall put my notebook away for that one.
I might have to update the UKBBL credits to incorporate the FA Cup winners, but that does mean including Black Star Crusade. Oh.
No, I think starting from now we just call it the Cornite Cup and be done with it. At least for one season.
Running away.
We're not going to backdate it though, obviously.
Oh, we are going to look at something in a moment. G'day, Bushranger from down under. Robbo, are you ready? Robbo's there, by the way, Schaefer, if you want to get him in the spa, into the playoffs. He's just come online. Andy's here as well, you can get him.
No worries, I shall do the spa day first.
There we go. We're having live Blood Bowl admin in on the air tonight. Why specifically mention Andy in the masterclass comment? I'm not sure anyone did mention. Did anyone mention Andy? Andy who? He's gone anyway. The good news is Andy's gone again. Well, that was the FA Cup, and there are our champions. No SPPs, obviously. 50% ball possession to the Wood Elves. That's pretty good. Only threw 19 blocks in the whole game. Look at that. That's pretty impressive.
Efficient.
Very efficient. And there is Sherwood Forest, the level 1 stadium. So I've had a chat with Schaefer. So there's 2 changes we're going to make for the FA Cup next season. The first one is with the replays. If your match goes to a replay, we are going to introduce after a replay the away goals rule. Okay, so if one of the matches is 2-2 and the replay is 1-1, then the team that scored the most away touchdowns will go through to the next round. If it's still a tie after that's taken into account, we're still having a chat about that. I've not actually spoken to Schaefer about this, but we might start looking at another way of separating the team rather than the untidiness of a coin flip. Force teams to go for the win a little bit more, certainly in the replay. So that's the first thing. The second thing that we're going to introduce for next season is, and I can actually show you this now. In fact, Schaefer, are you actually doing the stuff now, or are you with me so you can show?
No, I'm here.
You're here. So
I can't see the chat at the minute, but I'm here.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So I'm going to actually send you an invite. So next season we are going to pick at random one of the pre-loaded matches or preloaded stadiums that you can actually use in the Cyanide game. So friendly match, online, invite a friend. Where are you, Shafe? There you are.
I'm here.
So invite sent. Did you get the invite? Did you? Okay.
I did indeed.
So choose your UKBBL team. Not that it really matters for this demo. There we go. Brutal Deluxe. Okay, that's not your block.
Purely because I'm so proud of having the name.
Okay. This will just be for the final. So in the final, just confirm that team. we're going to select one of these one of the stadiums. We don't know which one yet. So it could be a level 3 Mouldy Den with the Magician's Shop there. It could be a beer stand, Everpeak Arena. It could be the Astra Granite playing surface of Midland Park. So we're going to actually have a neutral venue that will be selected for the FA Cup final next season. So there you go. So we're going to have a neutral stadium for the FA Cup final. How about the most valves? It could be one that doesn't have an enhancement. We could use some of these level 4s so people can enjoy the luxury of playing on a level 4 stadium, which is something you can do. So for instance, let's just choose this one. Okay, next. Just click next. Show, thank you. I hope I selected that stadium in time, by the way. The stadium will be picked at random, but it will be drawn at the start of the FA Cup at the start of the season. So I'll list them all.
Much the same way that the host city for the Champions League or whatever is done.
That's right, so we are open to bribes. So there we go. We could have this stadium as the FA Cup final, playing on Astra Granite, Midland Park. This could be the FA Cup. So we get to see it on a beautiful stadium, rather than having them in like a level 1 stadium, for instance. So I thought that'd be a nice touch for the FA Cup.
Home field advantage just conferred by random chance, isn't it?
Yeah, so there'll be no home field advantage in the final. Okay, so it'll be a random stadium in the final. Astra Granite is very stream friendly as well. And spoken like a man who likes to play on Astra Granite. So there it is.
In fact, you mentioned 2 rule changes. I actually have a third.
Okay, let's hear your third rule change, Schaefer.
This was just confirmation. I think it's already been mentioned in one of the threads about with regards to inducements.
Yeah.
We were going to say that anything. I can't remember what it was now. You can only put in your own gold if it's above the 150 bank limit. So that way, if you do put that extra money in, then it does count as TV towards the opponent as well, I think was the gist. Basically to stop the likes of Anton sort of getting a wizard despite having a million TV the other way.
Yeah.
So that should make things a little bit fairer on
Just
there.
make sure no magic dome.
I take the point that... sorry, say again?
No, M2 is like, make sure that there's no magic dome. It looks horrible on the stream. Yes.
True.
We might avoid the magic dome. Right. So, those are the changes to the FA Cup. So, I have promised that we were going to actually take a look at... I've turned that off by accident. Let's put that back on. I did promise that we were going to look at some of the league tables, so I guess I better do that, hadn't I? Oh dear. Let's get those Blood Bowl.
Say what you like, you're a man every word. I've never known you to lie in anything, Gav.
Who are you and what do you want?
A new game of MP2.
Clearly. Right, so this is current racial mix that we're going to be bringing up onto the stream right now. This is like Christmas time for you lot, isn't it? I can tell. So let's put it up on the monitor. There we go. So that's the racial mix for this season. So there are a few teams that we don't know what they're going to be. There are 5 teams that have not announced their races yet. In the whole of the UKBBL next season, there is one and only one Amazon team. Bless. Bless! Bretonians, there are 3 in the whole league. 15 Chaos teams have put themselves forward. So these are the divisions across the top. And these are the races alongside. 11 Chaos Dwarves, 14 Dark Elves. Now this is subject to change, obviously. Some people do make last minute changes. 9 Dwarves, 1 Elven Union team coming along. 1 whole Goblin team. Woohoo! No Halflings. Anybody want to take on halflings? They're not being represented in the UKBBL next season. Neither are ogres. No ogres. 8 high elves, 6 humans, 4 Khemri, 4 Kislevs. The Kislevs have not exploded in the way that I was expecting. 9 lizards, 14 Necro, 4 Norse, 10 Nurgle, 18 Orcs, 8 Skaven, 7 Undead, 3 Underworld, so you're not alone, including an Underworld mirror match. I don't know, Shape, it depends which division you're in, unless I told you were in LFW, I may have mentioned that. 4 Vampires, and 9 Wood Elves. So, who's upset about the divisions? There's a lot of Orcs here. This is the highest. So these. So let's have a look at Prem East, shall we? Let's take it off screen. Let's bring up Prem East. So who's behaved well? Who should we treat?
I've been a good boy this year.
You want to look at your division? Which division are you in?
I'm not sure actually.
I'm going to have a look. Schaefer, you've been a good boy this year, and as you're on the stream tonight. There we go. So you are in Haunted Hills East. That's your old favourite, isn't it?
Am I back in HHE? I didn't even notice.
You are
Hey,
in HHE.
Let the good times roll.
So there we go. HHE. 2 humans, 2 Chorfs, a Chaos, High Elves, another Chaos, a Skaven, another Chaos, Orcs, Dark Elves, and Bretts. 3 Chaos, Shafe. How do you feel about that? And those are the TVs. Those are the current TVs that you're seeing on there.
Yeah, I'm not. A lot of those I played last season, so I'm quite happy with it.
Yeah, as you can see, an awful lot of GWE got sucked up to HHE last season. Only 2 came down from Altdorf East, and 2 stuck. So the only 2 from HHE last season, Grey Murphy and Smudge, one and only, are stuck there. Good evening, Ceremal. So,
semi-finalist, Ceremal.
There we go, that's HHE. Should we have a look at the premierships? So, Prem East. And like I say, take these with a pinch of salt. They're subject to racial filtering, and they're also subject to correctness. I do make mistakes. So this is very, very early. This is only draft 2. In fact, technically it's draft 1.1 because I haven't got the green light from the commissioners yet. Draft 2 goes to the big guys. So that's next season's Premiership East. Lots of elves. 5 elves in Premiership East next season, with 1 Chaos team, couple of lizards, 1 orc, Ugnash the brave orc, from Altdorf East. An awful lot of teams. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4. An awful lot of re-rollers from Prem East last season. Looking at Prem West. There we go. There's Andy Davo. So this is a little bit more bashy on the west side. 2 Chaos, a Dwarf, a Chaos Dwarf, and an Orc, and Undead. A little bit trickier, I think. Wouldn't want to be Gerbear, particularly in that division, but pretty weighty TVs in that division. Yeah, Norse in the Premiership. Gerbear in Middenheim West. I think he actually went up by right as well. I'm just having a look. Middenheim West. Yeah, he did. He finished 2nd, so he actually went up by right. So runners up from Middenheim West were Pros at Dying. So yeah, earned that place. 1830 TV at the end of the season. 6 teams stuck where they were. If you include, 6 teams stuck where they were in Prem West. 6 came up, which is two bonus promotions to Prem West. So I'm going to allow the first 3 people that post now to see their divisions. First 3 people, I will look at your divisions, and then the rest of you will have to wait. So call your names out. First people to type your names. Go. No, see, I told you to type your names. I haven't seen anyone type their names yet. Max damage, right, the Waitrix Pidpad. Right, there we go. Max damage, the Waitrix Pid Pad. Max, Waitrix, Pid.
I'll laugh if all in the same division.
If they are, I'll allow a fourth person. So, max damage first. Let's find out which division you're in. So, I'm just going to move it off screen.
Bevan should get one for being a smartass.
What did he say? No, that's going to go against him. Max damage, you're in Middenheim West. So you haven't changed. And Middenheim West, here we go. Ready? That is the current makeup of Middenheim West. I'm going on my screen, I'm afraid, boys. So it was Max Damage, the Waitrix, and Pid Pad, the first people to type their names. So that's Middenheim West, okay? 4 elf teams, and then some bashy teams, and a Skaven team. That's a good mix. I think that's a really nice mix. Some good coaches in there as well. In with you, the Waitrix. 4th highest team value in your division. So max damage and the Waitrix are in the same division. So there we go. We go to the 4th place person, which was Loki Star. Max damage, the Waitrix, Pid Pad next though. So that's Middenheim West. So I'm going to move on to Pid Pad now, and then we'll do Loki Star. So Pid Pad is in an Underworld division. There's only 2 divisions it could have been. LFW is Pid Pad. This is a tier 4 division in the UKBBL. LFW. There we go. So a few more unknowns there. These guys have declared what races they're going to be. So 2 vampire teams to play Pid Pad. And a Kislev team, so that'll be fun. 2 underworlds, 2 vampires. That's going to be fun. Wouldn't you like to be in that division, Schaefer?
I would take it.
Yeah, that would mean I'd have allowed you to reroll, which isn't going to happen. So
Oh, do it.
I'm not
Being
going to do it.
blatantly
I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it.
prejudiced against.
Yep. So I'll ignore this